I think it's quite good for people that don't really have any fitness background or they haven't really been doing much exercises.
Good stuff. So, for those who don't know you, can you kind of introduce yourself and what do you do, how old you are, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm Rachel. I'm from Singapore. I'm actually a traffic engineer in LTA.
Mm.
It's like government lah. So, 28 this year. Uh, yeah. So I actually signed up because like wanted to lose weight for wedding
Mm.
coming up soon.
Soon.
Yeah.
Later part of the year, lah, right? Not
Actually, it's coming in 3 months lah. June.
June, right? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So, you signed on because of the wedding. But what was the biggest driver for you to be like, okay, let's just try this? Do you
I think
remember?
it was something different. It was something different because I remember some of the. I think I saw it on Instagram or something lah. Like it appeared on my Instagram. Then it was something like having to being able to eat as per normal and still lose fat and weight lah. So I think that caught my attention because a lot of times like I've been trying a lot of things lah. Actually, I also tried like juicing. I also tried like normally I've been doing more hits because I'm more of like I play touch rugby. So it's very fast paced and also like just used to the traditional hits and I didn't really. I mean, firstly, because Singapore we stay in HDB flats,
Yeah.
it's very hard to do jumping activities because you'll disturb your neighbor downstairs. And also, I don't really like to go to the gym because I don't know what to do there. So like, and also gym is very expensive. So I thought like this is something that I can do at my own time, own space. So I felt like it's something worth to try lah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm not too sure where you saw that actually. Was it because you were already following me or was that from somewhere else? Do you remember?
I think it was like SGAG, some guy from SGAG. Then he was saying like he did Hawk
Oh,
Fitness. Then I
right,
think
right,
I
right.
just click your account. Then
You
I
share
saw you.
nah. Right.
I can't
Okay,
remember what's
okay.
the name lah, but yeah, I think it was from there. Then
Right,
after
right,
that,
right.
then apparently like my friend knows you from VJ also.
Oh,
Um,
who is it?
Wei Jian, Aaron Egg.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
I think your batch also right, cause you're CMH.
Yeah,
I think.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
quite
you actually talked to him
yeah.
about me or
No,
like
I just happened to ask, like, do you know, because he also does like fitness first and everything. So I asked like that, do you know about
oh
this Hawk Fitness? Did you hear about
mm,
this? Then he was like, oh, apparently he's my JC friend. I was like, oh, Singapore really too
yeah.
small. Right?
Yeah, Singapore is very too small. I also
Yeah,
coached like some other, not say friends lah, but at least there are
friends
connections
or
lah.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about how the program has been for you and how do you feel in terms of like what do you think are the specific results you got? It's not just like in terms of looks and everything lah, but like really what for you is like the takeaway for you.
I think like a lot of the things that you share, not I mean through the Instagram also,
Mm,
quite useful lah. Like I feel like the all the myths that we always believe in, like no
mm,
carbs, that kind of thing.
mm.
I feel like a lot of them have been. It's like mind blowing. In a way, it's like a lot of times for the longest time, it's like carbs is always bad for me lah. The mentality and also yeah lor. And the fact that I don't have to do high intensity activities is quite mind blowing for me because like I always thought it has to be I have to sweat like crazy, that kind of thing. But I feel that important thing for me is the form lah, because like the method of the tempo right actually helps with the form. So it's like it's like help me to focus on the form more than the getting through the workout, that kind of thing. Yeah. So that's my
Like
takeaway.
not just like
Yeah.
just doing
Not
it,
doing
right?
for
Not
the
like
sake.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct.
Just doing for the
Yeah.
sake of it. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so for you specifically, right? Like how do you see yourself changing or how do you feel the changes are? Like physically also? How have you kind of felt the changes?
I feel like my arms are more toned. I don't know if you can see lah, but I feel that it's more toned lah. Then my thighs are also. I told you on Facebook Messenger. I told you that I feel like my legs are smaller a bit lah. Like I feel less cellulite also. And I think because my diet hasn't really changed. So like if I had done the diet a bit faster, right, I think would have been maybe more progress lah. Yeah, so that is what I felt lah.
Diet hasn't really changed.
As
What
in
do you mean
not
again?
say change, but uh the calories I tried to meet the 1000, but
Mm,
like I never really eat very clean that kind.
right. Okay lah, but
Yeah,
because of the Chinese New Year period, also there was a bit of a
correct. Yeah,
more of a
yeah.
tolerance.
And honestly, yeah, honestly, eating clean is quite tiring lah because you have to keep
Mm,
buying ingredients and you have to keep cooking and plus
mm,
work
mm.
is also quite tough lah. So
Yeah.
but now I feel like I don't really crave all the the less healthy foods.
Kind
Yeah.
of because like you kind of know that you can have them, right?
Yeah. It's like
Like
sometimes you cannot have it, you want to have it more.
correct. Like our parents tell us not to do
Yeah.
something, then it's like, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
it,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk about this a bit after this. Okay. So like this portion, I'm just gonna share for the public, but I'm gonna talk to you about like the whole 1,000 calories and stuff like that, and like what can you do next? Okay. Um. Great. So any other things? Do you feel like there were any other takeaways that you felt were really important for you? It's kind of good to reflect a bit because sometimes like there are things that you actually gain out of it, and then you're not aware, right? But then
Mm.
being aware of some of these things that you that helped you, you can also use it for the future. Yeah. So do you feel like there's any other things?
Mm. Yeah, so tempo, the method of the tempo and then the way of tracking. I think tracking is quite useful lah, I feel for me because uh, sometimes you don't know what you're eating like throughout the day, right? You eat and then you don't realize what you're actually eating. But because of the tracking, it helps me to be more mindful of what I eat lah. Yeah, so I think that's something that I will try to continue. But it's quite it will be take a lot of discipline lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
And then
but I think one very powerful thing is you at least roughly know what's going inside your foods now, right? Like
yeah.
going forward, okay, the intention of tracking is never like, or rather like me getting you to track, right? It's never like a you have to keep tracking for the rest of your life, right? It's
Yeah.
like you are tracking now, okay, because of a certain goal. Not just that, it's also to help you understand what is going inside your food,
Mm.
right? And the
Yeah.
more you understand, or the more you roughly know, which is good enough, it's like in the future you don't have to track. You can kind of see something and like, yeah, that is gonna be blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do you
it's like more to help in the long term lah. It's more
yeah,
of a long term thing, right? Yeah.
yeah. Okay, great.
Actually, I think your whole program is quite long term lah. I feel because uh the method is not say very quick results, but I feel that it's more of the longer term goal to be sustainable lah. Because if a lot of those quick diets like juicing or that, I did juicing before. I actually lost quite some weight during a very short period, but then it's really not sustainable because like the I mean we reach a plateau very fast and then
you bounce back, right?
it's very expensive also because fruits are not cheap, and then you have to
Mm,
buy a lot of fruits like every other 3 days you have to buy a new batch of fruits, and then I wake up earlier to do the juice and everything. It's really tiring, but of course it's nice to have. If we can have someone do the juice for me, I will gladly join.
aka
Yeah.
the husband.
Yeah. So
Okay.
next time maybe I mean I don't know from okay so I wanted to ask you like from now to June, right?
Mm,
Because one reason why we didn't continue because we also feel that we don't really have much time from now
Okay, let's
because
talk
we
about this
yeah
a bit
later
after. Okay.
okay
Yeah.
yeah
I'm gonna cover this part later also. Uh,
okay
but I'll share with you. Share with me what you think about it later also. Okay. Then
okay
I'll address your concerns. Okay. So those are the specific results. I have just two more questions, and then a big quick one, and then we'll transition to the important stuff. Okay. So the next one would be who would you kind of recommend the program for? Like you've seen a lot of people going through the program, right? You can kind of see
yeah
like everyone is at like
yeah
quite different also.
correct.
But for you,
I think it's quite good for people that don't really have any fitness background or they haven't really been doing much exercises, because recently there was also the news about the spin class thing. It was quite scary. Like I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
know
I
there
also
was,
heard about it.
yeah,
The
I didn't know there was
fuck
such
sia,
a
yeah.
thing. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, their pee turned brown. I was like, oh my gosh.
The
So
funny thing is,
I
after
feel,
I heard it,
yeah,
right? Sorry, after I heard it, right, I went to Google, right? Apparently, it's something that has already been happening for years now.
I have no idea there was such a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
me too. Like, what? What
No,
are
but
people doing so intensely in the swim class?
I went before, but I feel that it's not for me lah. Yeah, because
Not for everyone.
uh, it's really very okay, one thing is pressurizing because you're in a class, right? And then you feel like you have to keep up with everybody else who are like maybe been there for super long. They go, I know people that go like 2 or 3 times a day, kind of thing.
Mm,
Very
mm,
crazy lah. So I feel that this program is really suitable for those beginners and really people that are starting from scratch, or because it's really slow at the start. Like
mm,
you really cater to your pace lah, because at the start I felt, because okay, I'm used to high hits, right?
mm,
And then when I first did, I was like, wow, this is really slow, and then the breaks are like super long. I was
mm,
like, this is very strange. It was a bit weird at the start, but then as the workout progressed, I realized why your break is so long because you're really like going slow, and then you're using your muscles, so you
mm,
really need the recovery lah. So
mm,
that is really like a plot twist for me. Yeah, and
mm.
then so yeah, it's suitable for beginners that are taking it slow first lah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. So I'm glad you saw and realized why there was a ramp up, right?
Yeah.
But by the way, it's also important, right? I think some people are always like rushing to go all out at the start. Like
Correct.
for sure, like you can do that if you enjoy it and stuff like that. But I think a lot of times the mindset is more like a short-term thing. You're just trying to blast out. But there are benefits to taking a step back, which I'm gonna talk to you about later. Also, taking a step back and then ramping things up again. Like the process of in progress, right? That you're gonna take just by taking a step back is actually very beneficial for people who get stuck.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk
Okay.
about it later also. Okay. Great. So this is one last thing I like to add, and for you, okay, like what is your one biggest tip or advice that you want to give other people for you?
For tip
Mm,
I don't think I'm in a position to give tip. I think just trust the process lah. Like and also like reach out. Like for example, the Facebook Messenger thing was quite useful for me because at the
mm,
start, right, before you talk to me first, I was like, how do I get back to you? Because the app couldn't allow me to reply you. So
yeah.
I had some questions, but I didn't know how to ask. So when you reach out, then I said, oh yeah, I can use Facebook, because I don't know how open you are to like, you know,
Mm.
like
You
talking.
remember that you
Yeah,
can reach out
yeah,
through Facebook posts as well as
yeah,
emails, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
as in, I was so focused on the app lah. So I think like just try other ways to reach out to you lah. Let's say if like
Mhm.
they have questions, or yeah, don't be shy. Yeah.
Okay. So rephrasing that, your biggest advice would be
As in, because if like sometimes uh I have questions, then I feel like I don't really know how to go about doing it. Then I feel less motivated to do the workout in a
mm,
sense. Yeah.
mm.
So if I clarify things, like for example, then I was asking you something. I can't remember what. Uh,
You
uh,
ask you asked me quite a bit of things, so I also
yeah.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think as in just because it can feel quite lonely lah in the journey, because like when you, especially if you're doing alone. For me, I did with Edwin, right? So it
Mm,
wasn't so bad.
mm,
But I feel like if I was alone, right, I'll feel less I'll feel a bit more lonely.
mm, mm,
And
mm,
but as I have to reach out to you lah, if let's say if you need to have like some clarification, or like just to make sure that you're going on the right path lah. Because like
mm,
there are also questions that I also wanted to ask. Like I'm not really sweating a lot during the workout. I wanted to ask
mm.
uh whether it's correct or not. Then after I think I saw some of your posts that actually it's not really about the sweating lah. So
Nice.
so
That
yeah,
was
all this
specifically
helps.
catered for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have many tips to share. Just trust the
Basically,
process, and
reach
yeah,
out, trust the process, reach out
yeah,
when you need to, right?
yeah. That's what
Mm,
you're there for.
mm. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm gonna stop that for now. Thanks so much for sharing.